Kok cantik colokan. Paling iki ya paling sejak. Iya. Iya. Biologi. Sih tapi biasa. Dosen-dosen terkenal juga. Jakarta itu loh, Pak. Asesor Jakarta. Oh. Asesor berapa angkat dulu, Pak? Yo, di Jakarta. Baik. Satu enggak? Ini campuran lagi benar. Ya, biuran. satu lawan setengah sebelas itu loh itu ya 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 oke mantap dulu Assalamualaikum. Ini semua ini kalau pokoknya 한 분이 먼저 그네. 빨리 빨리. Kuat kuat. Kalau bukan itu Tokyo Tokyo dan kuat. Tokyo University of Gadjah dan itu namanya. Lagi. Jadi dari hasil aku, yang aku kan kan dia bisa memberi instruksi. Only was sampai 11.15. Itu langsung nonton. Orang jadi dia orang makan makan dulu. Oh, itu orang apa mau awak. Baru
Yeah, actually, I describe our blood was as our type, but they say that we are Nah, saya politik saya harus sama. Kan dia cuma nulis sendiri ya, bro. Itu mahasiswanya Prof. Mas Ragil, Pak Ragil. Ada yang di Zoom juga soalnya. Siapa juga yang di Zoom ya?
Itu teman saya perlu dia harus dia.
Oh iya, makanya kita dengar peternakan banyak yang datang kan karena itu Prof. Kalau nggak Zoom.
Iya tuh.
Iya, orang kuliah.
Student direkam lecture. Sorry.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention? So our first session is about to begin. To ensure everyone can enjoy the guest lecture without interruption, we kindly ask you to turn off or silence your cell phones or any other electronic devices. Thank you for your cooperation. I would also like to inform you that this guest lecture will be streamed on YouTube and also Zoom meeting. Anyone that has any questions, we would like to ask you to give some questions at the Q&A session. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the guest lecture with the topic of effective role of microorganism in waste management and environmental sustainability. We are thrilled to have you all here today. I'm Chokodra Pamayun, your host for today, and I would like to greet the lecturers of the Agriculture Microbiology Department, Professor Irfan Widya Mada, Professor Doni Widianto, Dr. Muhammad Saifur Rahman, Dr. Ngadiman, Dr. Desi Utami, Dr. Nur Akbar Arafatullah, Dr. Agundian Karisma, and also our distinguished guest lecturer, Professor Fujiyama Kazuhito. We are very thankful for your attendance here today, and I hope everyone is doing well. For the next 2 hours, we will discuss various innovation and study cases related to the role of microorganisms in waste management and also how it can improve environmental sustainability. And furthermore, we will talk about Osaka University itself. Ladies and gentlemen, please allow me first to read the agenda for today. The first agenda is the opening session. The second will be the guest lecturer presentation, Q&A session, followed by the closing session. Without further ado, I would like to invite Professor Irfan Widya Priyambada, a graduate of the doctoral program at Osaka University, as well as the lecturer of Agriculture Microbiology Department, to give an opening speech.
Very good morning, everybody, colleagues and students of Universitas Mada. We, Department of Agricultural Microbiology, has a long collaboration with Osaka University, especially International Center for Biotechnology and Department of Fermentation Technology, but now become Department of Biotechnology. But this is not only a collaboration between the Department of Agricultural Microbiology of the Faculty of Agriculture, Universitas Mada, but also the whole university, because they started, I think, in 1970s, when it started with the UNESCO postgraduate course. It sent many students or professors, associate professor, assistant professor from Asia to Japan, and our collaboration started by sending at the time professor who was with Idoro Sudarsono, our very senior lecturer from Department of Agriculture, Agricultural Microbiology, and then also many professors from Faculty of Agricultural Technology, also from the pharmacy, and we continue until we then establish a collaboration to have a School of Biotechnology, Asia School of Biotechnology several years ago. And I think many of our staff, Department of Agricultural Microbiology, have also visited Osaka, visited Japan, like me, Professor Widianto, Saifu, Dr. Ngadiman, also Akbar, also has some chance to visit. So our collaboration is long collaboration, and it's related also not only in the case of education, but also with research. So today we would like to have eight ideas of one of the most prominent professor in International Center for Technology, because Fujiyama Sensei, Professor Fujiyama, also director for International Center for Biotechnology. So we may have an insight of what is going on in the research Osaka University. So we may have an idea to have a collaboration on research, and also that we may also have a collaboration in education from this lecture, I hope. So thank you very much, Fujiyama Sensei, for sparing your time with us today and for giving opportunity for our students and our staff to have some insight on research and also education in Japan, especially in Osaka University. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your opening remark, Professor Irfan. Now we will continue to our main session. Ladies and gentlemen, now we have come to our main agenda, the guest lecturer session. Before we start, I want to give a brief introduction of our guest lecturer, Professor Fujiyama Kazuhito. It is my distinct honor to introduce Professor Fujiyama Kazuhito, Director of the International Center for Biotechnology, or IC Biotech, at Osaka University. A 1990 graduate of the doctoral program at Osaka University, Professor Fujiyama's expertise lies in biotechnology, particularly in the field of enzyme engineering, and also producing biomaterial for industrial application. Professor Fujiyama has received significant recognition throughout his career, including numerous awards and extensive publication in biotechnology. Notably, he was honored with the Osaka University Prize for contribution to education in 2022. One of the key publications, the 2022 paper, which is the heterologous fusion, gene expression and characterization of a novel carbohydrate binding module, CBM36 to lacase LCC2. Professor Fujiyama's unwavering dedication to advancing education and research excellence continue to inspire, and it is a privilege for us to have him here with us today. We would like to invite Professor Fujiyama to deliver the lecture for today's topic. Let's give a round of applause for Professor Fujiyama.
Thank you very much for your kind introductions. So I like to deliver my lectures today, but just allow me to sit here. Okay. So I discussed about my lecture on last Friday with some staff here, and I was given to talk a little bit about Osaka University activities, and also after that I would like to talk about my own research. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and professors, particularly our Osaka University alumni. I'm very happy to be here to give lectures. So thank you very much, Professor Doni. Maybe Dr. Doni. May I call Professor Doni? And Professor Irwan and Saifu. I'm sorry, I can't remember your name. Thank you very much for joining these lectures. I'm very happy to know introduction by Professor Irfan. We started the, we call it the UNESCO postgraduate programs, and also research collaboration among Asian countries in 1973. So since then, already 50 years passed. Maybe you understand, 50 years is very long. So for instance, when the first batch of the UNESCO participants studied at Osaka University at their age around 22 or 20 something, they become already 70 something. So it's a long history. So we appreciate your contribution to this program, and also we are very happy to create or produce these very talented professors here in Bukit. And now we have a lot of collaborations with ASEAN countries, particularly Indonesia, Philippines, Thailand, Vietnam, and this is not ASEAN but Mongolia. So I will talk about a little bit in my first part of today's lectures. So I hope you could understand how our collaboration stay long under your help or cooperations. So first, I would like to talk about strengthening research capacities and capability of Osaka University. So this is a little bit history. Now I'd like to skip, but our university started from the private school in 18 something or 17 something. Then our university became Imperial University, then now Osaka University. Then I would like to tell you from this April, our university name will be changed. Now our university name is Osaka University, but from April, our university name is changed to be the University of Osaka. You know, the University of Tokyo is the number one. Then we try to be the University of Osaka. Okay, so from now on, please remember the University of Osaka. But of course, we can say Osaka University too. And this is our campus. We have 3 campuses in Osaka Prefecture. Osaka Prefecture is surrounded by Kyoto and Nara. Kyoto and Nara is a very ancient city. It's a very ancient city. Okay. Then, so this is the Osaka Prefecture, and our campus is a little bit northern part of the Osaka. And when you arrive at Osaka, our Kansai International Airport is around here, geographically. Then we have a Suita campus, Mino campus, and Toanaga campus. And Suita campus is my institute located. And Mino campus is mostly like a linguistic college. And here, mostly social science and School of Science too. But the Suita campus, mostly we have scientific research institutes like engineering, medicine, dentistry, pharmaceuticals, hospitals. Mostly we have engineering or science facilities, faculties in Suita campus. And this is Osaka University visions. So we are very much interested in open educations, open innovations, open governance, open community, and open research. And our very unique characteristic is industry university collaborations. As I mentioned, Osaka University became Imperial University or established by the government. But when we started the university systems, we do not have the university in Osaka. But the people in Osaka requested the government to build Osaka University. So we call it human people power. So we have a lot of technology, we have a lot of industries, and we have many, money in Osaka in those days. Because our Department of Biotechnology started from brewing technology. And about 100 or 150 years ago, brewing industry like a sake industry, alcohol industry, pay a lot of tax to the government. So we have a lot of power. So that's why we requested, we need a university in Osaka, then the government builds the university, Osaka University. So since then, we have a lot of collaborations with the company. Probably you know Panasonic, right? Panasonic is staying in Osaka, started in Osaka. But unfortunately, Nintendo started in Kyoto. Yeah, a little bit different. Yeah. Okay. So that's why we have here, maybe you can see 101 joint research labs. Joint research labs means the company pay and rents the laboratory, then work together with the company. So, for instance, do you know Shimazu company? Yeah. Right? Shimazu company also have a research institute in our building. So they pay, then they make a laboratory, and the professor can together work with this Shimazu company, like mass spectrometry, HPLC, or gas chromatography. So many equipments can be developed together with the company and professors, with sometimes students. So we have this kind of systems. And this is very unique system in Japan. And this is world ranking for innovation. This data is a little bit old, but Osaka University, very top university in terms of the innovations. And this is another award. So those data also shows Osaka University very innovative university. And here, Osaka University is very good at immunology. So very famous professors who works on immunology got some very prestigious awards. This is ex-president, Professor Kishimoto. He developed IL-6, interleukin-6. And he is, I'm sorry, I don't remember. In nature immune systems, he found the in nature immune systems. So we have very good at immunology, and also we have a Beacon Foundation. Maybe in your country, this Beacon Foundation had a collaboration with Biopharma, maybe Biopharma in Bandung.
Yes.
And they developed the vaccines together with Biopharma. And this is the robotics. So these two famous professors, Ishiguro and Asada, he developed, this is Leonardo da Vinci, human android, yes. And this is his copy. Now, when you come to Osaka University, you can see this da Vinci. And this robotics can work like a human and try to talk in human. And this is another institute, brain science. So this is very famous institute. And the other one is innovative research, quantum information and biology. And the last one may be datability science. So we have a research institute for the bioinformatics or data science, and sometimes in the canteen or everywhere in the campus, they have some monitor, then they try to see how people work, how people walk. Then they try to analyze the behavior of the human, then they like to, maybe in future, they like to propose how we can evacuate upon the earthquakes or fires. Okay, then from now on, I just want to talk a little bit about international collaborations. So Osaka University has 4 branches in Netherlands, Groningen. Very sorry, we do not have a office in Wageningen, but we have European Center in Groningen. And this is ASEAN Center in Thailand, and Shanghai and Berkeley in the United States. And now we have ASEAN Campus project. And ASEAN Campus project means we like to have a research collaboration. We have to have student exchange programs with ASEAN people or ASEAN university. So now we have four, actually five. I did not include Malaysia, but we have already five research campuses. This is virtual campuses. The first one is Vietnam, Thailand, Mahidol University, Indonesia, in ITB, and Brunei. But I like to tell you, each country, for instance, in Bandung, this is a key ASEAN campus, but we have a partner university such as UI, ITB, UNER, of course, UGM. So you have some benefit. I mean, UGM or UGM students have a benefit under this ASEAN campus programs. For instance, you can send your students under the OU ICT Osaka University International Certificate Programs. So under this program can be given to these campuses. Other universities like Gadjah, they cannot use. So UGM has a benefit to use these OU ICT programs or short stay programs or others. Okay, so can I move to my research topics?
Yes.
Okay, so today I just like to talk about lipid productions by Rhodotolula tolloides strains. This is Basidio mycetus originus yeast. Okay, and I would like to use the biowaste. Actually, we like to use the many biowaste, but today I just want to focus on crude glycerol. So this is my acknowledgement. I have a collaboration with Gadjah University in Thailand. Maybe you have some collaboration with Gadjah University. So first, I would like to talk about academic interactions. Then I like to move on to the two Rhodotolula strains, Rhodotolula mucinaginosa, Rhodotolula tolloides. And what is a biodiesel? Probably you know very well. So biodiesel is one of the alternative sustainable biofuels made from renewable resources, triacylglycerols. So this glycerin, in Japan, glycerin, but maybe in scientific name is glycerol. So this glycerol is produced by triacylglycerols along the trans esterifications. So you can get the fatty acid residue esters, but this one can use the biodiesels. Then when you make this fatty acid residue esters, we have a lot of glycerins. So in Japan, I don't know here, crude glycerol can be used for the feed, food for the cow, like a feedstock. But I like to use this glycerin as a carbon source to cultivate the originous yeast. And we have a lot of triglycerols from we can prepare this triglycerol from the plants, animals, microbes, but in our case, I wanted to focus on the microbes. And there are some good points, bad points. Plants, in the case of plants, we may need a lot of lands, and sometimes the production depends on the climate or weather. But the microbes, we don't need a huge land, but a microbe system can provide us in short process cycles and no competitive with food. But yeah, I understand to cultivate the microbes, we need electricity. So this depends on electricity and also biodiesel productions. And in our study, as I mentioned, we have a collaboration with Professor Savitri Rington, Kasetsart University. So we received Rhodotorola mucinaginosa TDC strains. So this is our start point. And we got this original yeast. This is, as I mentioned, Basidiomycetes yeast. Of course, Saccharomyces cerevisiae is Ascomycetes yeast, and some research groups focus on Ascomycetes yeast. But in our case, we use the Rhodotorola strains. This is the red yeast. Then there are many papers on the use of the Rhodotorola tolloides for the production of fatty acids or other chemicals. And we are interested in, I mentioned, bioprocess optimization using Rhodotorola tolloides. So Rhodotorola tolloides can produce more oils when the nitrogen source is limited. Okay, so we need a biphasic cultivation. So first stage, we have to grow the cells well. Then second phase, we have to reduce the content of the nitrogens. Then they can start produce more lipids. And of course, as you know, we have to consider carbohydrates, trace metal salts, and also this is very important in my lecture too, crude substrates, oxygen, temperature, pH, light, electro-fermentations. Very interestingly, these Rhodotorola tolloides can produce more lipid under the lighting. Then we try to breed using genetically modification, genetic engineering as well as adaptive evolutions. So this is natural mutations. We do not use UV, we do not use EMS. We just cultivate at stress condition, under the stress conditions. And here, this is the data how lipid productions by yeast. This is the history. Nowadays, many researches have been done using Ascomycetes yeast as well as Basidiomycetes yeast. So, for instance, here they use Saccharomyces, genetically modified Saccharomyces cerevisiae or genetically modified Yellow-ear lipolytica, or many other strains. So I just want to go back to the Rhodotorola strains. So Rhodotorola tolloides TK16s, they can produce the oleic acid. And this oleic acid is very suitable as the biodiesels because here only one unsaturated group, and when saturated group increase, that it is easily solidified, but less easily soluble, but the ability, potential is also good. So we like to try to produce more oleic acid. And this is two media, as I mentioned. So for the cellulose, we use yeast extract, peptone, glucose. Of course, this is costly, but just experiments, we use this one. And lipid accumulations, so nitrogen limited media is very important. So ammonium sulfates, magnesium yeast extract, and the phosphate buffer, and glucose. Then glycerol we consider, instead of using glucose, can we use the glycerol? So we did some experiments. Firstly, we used the pure glycerol, and secondly, we used the crude glycerol. And when you cultivate, maybe you know the fermentations, but during the fermentations, sometimes you can see fermenter temperature become high. by produced heat produced by yeast physiological activities. So that's why we try to create the mutants which can grow at higher temperature. So this is our primary data. So this is some Rhododendron toluloides TK16, which cannot grow at 36 degrees, 38 degrees, but it can grow at 30 degrees. Very strange, interesting. This is isolated in Thailand, but this yeast cannot grow at higher temperature. So we try to get the mutant which can grow at 36 or 37. Then we cultivated these yeast strains. So firstly 30 degree, then change to the 37 degree, then go back to 30 degree. So we repeated these cycles 9 months. 9 months. So one PhD student complained, but he repeated this experience 9 months. He is very patient. He was very patient. Professor Yufan said, patience is very important. Yes. So finally, he got one mutant which can grow at 37 degrees. Then this is the data. So this is the original yeast strain. This is mutant strain. This mutant strain can grow at 37 degrees, and wild type strain cannot grow at 37 degrees. But when you look at the lipid amount, very interestingly, this mutant can produce more lipids. Not only these mutants show not only some tolerance, but also produce more lipid. So we consider this strain is very good. They can grow at higher temperature. They can produce more lipid. Then we analyze. Sorry, I did not talk today, but we analyze why these mutant strains shows some tolerance and more lipid productions by using RNA sequence analysis. But before that, we do not know the genome DNA sequence of these strains, so we analyze genome sequence, then we move on to the RNA sequence, then we identify some genes are upregulated in mutants. So we introduce each gene into the wild type and try to analyze which genes contribute to the sum tolerance as well as lipid productions. That project is now ongoing. And I like to go to the next topics, Rhododendron toluloides. So I like to skip, but as I mentioned, we are very much interested in using crude glycerol. So here, I have to repeat these ones. So pure glycerol and crude glycerol we compare. And we cultivate our yeast using crude glycerol. But maybe you can see this is pure glycerol, this is crude glycerol. The strain growth is inhibited when we cultivate the yeast using crude glycerol. So we consider there are some impurities or toxic molecules to the growth of the yeast. So it might be a methanol, fatty acid methyl ester, fatty acid salt or salt. We did not know, but we knocked down the possibility one by one. So using crude glycerol, the objective of the second topics is utilization crude glycerol as a carbon source for Rhododendron toluloides. Then what is the problems? So characterization of the glycerol, the effect of impurity in crude glycerol on yeast cell growth, neutralization of crude glycerol as utilization. These three approaches. So we analyze the crude glycerol. I don't know in Indonesia, in Japan now, the restaurants or each house can, of course, throw away in a sink, or sometimes you can use the newspaper to absorb the waste oil. But like restaurants, they can give the waste oil to the company. And some company go around to harvest the cooking oil. In Sapporo, Hokkaido, there are some shelves in a city hall or some restaurants. So each family can bring in their crude cooking oil, then the company or city collects all cooking oil, used cooking oil, then they try to use the or renew this cooking oil for the cooking as a cooking oil, or they can use this cooking oil as a airplane fuel. Okay. So in our case, we bought this glycerol from the company. Then the color is very dark browns. The density is this one, and pH is more alkaline. Then there are glycerol, of course, about 45%. And there are methanol, fatty acid methyl ester, and fatty acid salt and salt. Then we worried contamination of methanol, but methanol was not so important to our strains. So to our strains, this fatty acid salt was a problem. So the effect of impurity on cell growth. So this is a methanol, oleic acid, methyl orate, potassium chloride. These one did not give so much effect. But when you look at potassium orates, this is a salt, then our cell cannot grow well. So we understand this fatty acid salt inhibits the growth of the cells. Then we treated this crude glycerol by acidifications. Then we can remove fatty acid salt. Then we try to get this organic layer, and we will also get the water layer. This water layer has plenty of glycerol. Then we use this neutralized crude glycerol as a carbon source for our yeast cultivations. So cell growth, we use this one, neutralized crude glycerol. And lipid productions, we also use neutralized glycerol. And here, this is a glucose, and the yellow one is pure glycerol, and this one neutralized glycerol, and this is just crude glycerol. As you can see here, crude glycerol inhibits the growth, but when we neutralize the crude glycerol, our cells can grow like a pure glycerol. So now we understand, before using the crude glycerol for the cultivation of yeast, we should treat our crude glycerol by acidification and neutralizing to remove the salt. And this is the microscopic analysis, and this is gross glucose and the pure glycerol, and this is neutralizing crude glycerol and crude glycerol. And as you can see here, this neutralizing crude glycerol, this red one, lipid is stained by 9 reds. So you can see this pink one is a lipid body. You can see the lipid body. And pure glycerol, you can see more, a bigger lipid body. And here you can see pink one, but we consider in this case the fatty acid just go into the cell. They did not produce the fatty acid. And this is a lipid production by different carbon source. So glucose, pure glycerol, crude glycerol, and neutralizing crude glycerol. So neutralizing, so just crude glycerol, bad. But the others, pure glucose, neutralizing glycerol, they can show the good growth as well as lipid productions. So now again, we can use the neutralizing crude glycerol as a carbon source. So this is just our conclusions of today's topics, but we scale up our fermentations like 20 liters, and we like to see how this crude glycerol affects. So neutralizing crude glycerol can be used for lipid productions. That is our next step. And I just want to share another research data with you this morning. Sorry. This is a 5-liter fermenter. So before going to the 20-liter fermentations, we just tried 5-liter fermentations. So we divided into the 3 cultivation phase. So number 1, cell growth, and number 2, fed batch rheostat. So we control the dissolved oxygens. Then number 3, fed batch constantly. So we can give the lipid neutralizing crude glycerol continuously. Then alternative carbon source. So we use this one. Then this is crude glycerol, and here. Sorry, I made a mistake. So we just tried this one. But I'm sorry, I cannot show you data today. So we just started 5-liter fermentations and 20-liter fermentations. Then this is another data. I told you I like to share this data today. So your student, Bismo, he joined our research group. So he is a graduated from UGM. He joined our group. Yeah, this is what he did in my laboratory, and he investigated how orate soap inhibit the cell growth. And this is the YBD, and he analyzed sodium orate and potassium orate. This is the fatty acid soap, and he found the sodium orate. This is the soap. This sodium orate inhibits the cell growth. So we consider to use the crude glycerol, not neutralizing glycerol, just crude glycerol. We should have sodium orate tolerant yeast. So we try to isolate the mutants. So he repeated again adaptation experiments, but in his case, he did not use the 9 months. He just got the mutants in a few months. He is very lucky. So this is presentation by his research at the annual meeting. So you know him, right? This is your student. And he isolated some mutants. So this is a 5% sodium orate, this is 3% potassium orate. And he repeated situations in the presence of 3% sodium orate, then increase 4% and 5%, and he isolated the single colony from these mutants. Then, fortunately, he got the many mutants, but he focused on 4 mutants. So this is his mutant mutants. Then this, for instance, M62 shows the higher tolerance against the 3% of potassium orate. And he cultivated his mutants in the presence of crude glycerol. 5% of potassium orate, then he found his mutant can grow very well in the presence of the fatty acid salt. So thank you very much for your kind attention. But we just started this experiment, and he also tried to analyze the what genes contribute to this tolerance. So he now analyzed RNA sequence, then he tried to identify which genes contribute to this tolerance. So in future, he will show his successful data in the paper, and with his successful paper and maybe diploma, and he will be back to Indonesia in future. Okay. Thank you very much for your kind attention.
Thank you very much, Professor Fujiyama, for the insightful presentation. We now have some time for questions. To ensure everyone has a chance to participate, please keep your question as concise as possible. The Q&A session will be limited up to only 20 minutes. Please raise your hand and I'll come to you with the microphone. Okay, for the first question.
Thank you very much for the opportunity to get a question. Thank you, Sensei, for your presentation. I think it's quite interesting. So one thing that I want to need your explanation is that this yeast has some orange color, right? And is it that color is beta carotene or something?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And one thing that you said that the oleate salt is the main factor that can inhibit the cell growth. So what is the cause of this oleate salt can inhibit it of the cell growth? Well, thank you.
Can you hear me? Okay. Thank you for your questions. Yes, we do not know well, but maybe salt can damage the cell wall or cell membrane. And that's why our yeast cannot grow well. That is our understanding.
So because of maybe the membrane lysis something that
Yes.
whether you already examined by microscopically that there is some destroy the membrane.
Maybe I show you this one. So this is a bit different, but when we cultivate our cells, the cell shape a little bit changed, and this microscopic data, fatty acid go into the cell. They did not produce the limit body, and we consider just fatty acid soap goes through cell wall and membrane into the cell, then they may be damaged inside. But we are not sure yet.
Okay, thank you, Sensei. And actually, I also have some bacterial strains that also have some similar color like this. And I think probably I can make some similar experiment with your growing. Thank you very much. Actually, I also have some bacterial cell which is able to produce the carotene something and also have some similar color with this yeast, and probably maybe I can do some yeah, similar experiment, something like that, whether my bacterial cell able to produce some lipid or something, maybe.
Yeah, that is very interesting. So we just started also the carotenoid analysis using HPLC.
Okay.
But fatty acid analysis, we use the gas chromatography. So if you can send your sample, we can work together. Of course, we can give you our analytical method.
Okay. And so far, we extract the beta carotene by using ethanol. Methanol. We just incubate the cell with 100% methanol, or maybe 5 minutes something. Then we can easily to obtain the beta carotene. It's very easy. Thank you very much.
Your strain can produce astaxanthin.
I'm not sure about it. But the thing that we observe also, if we prolong the incubation of the beta carotene production, then we observe by using some very simple spectrophotometry, there is some shifted on the wavelength. So we can I say probably that beta carotene is already become like retinol or something, because there is also possibility to convert the beta carotene into retinol. That's our preliminary work.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, next, we're gonna ask for the participant in the Zoom meeting. Is there any questions related to the guest lecture presentation today? And also for Prof. Nanung, is there any question, or do you want to give an explanation? Or anyone else in this room? Does anyone have any question? Okay.
おはようございます。Sensei, I have two questions. The first one, based on his most research, he got so many mutants, and then finally he decided to get 4 only. So I would like to know how to choose, and based on what kind of criteria to choose that as the best mutants. The second one, I'm really impressed with the innovative research that you mentioned 101 joint research lab having collaboration with Osaka University, and even they have laboratory and then the laboratory inside campus. So my question is, what the advices you might give to us and how to attract industry to collaborate with us, especially for me, maybe young lecturer who doesn't have any experience yet. So I would like to know how to attract them. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your questions. The first question is, I don't know why Bismo chose these 4 strains, but I think, or I believe, the growth patterns are different compared to the other mutants. So for instance, M21, M22, they isolated in the same cultivation conditions. That's why he chose 2. But M6.2 and M6.22 show the different patterns. That's why he chose these 2 mutants from the M6 batch. But for me, M21, M22 looks similar. But I don't know why he chose these 4 strains. But yeah, that is his choice. I trust him. Yeah. And the second question is, I was also very much impressed your say entrepreneurships. Like he started a business, and you have a lot. I think you have some businesses in the field of biotechnology. So I was very much impressed. And in Osaka University, we have 101 research stations. Then to get this kind of research stations by company, mostly we make presentations in a conference. Then, for instance, Panasonic company, pharmaceutical company is interested in our technology, they will come to see us. Then I'm very much interested in your technology, for instance, like analytical systems, or you have developed cell lines or something like that, then they like to use. Or they like to discuss how they can improve their technology with us. Then if they like to invest more, they will make a research station in the campus. But I'm not quite sure the companies in Indonesia, but in Japan, to hire one person and to hire two persons, then they can build the research stations in the company, in Osaka University. For instance, they pay to employee cost to two persons, very similar amount of the money, they can make a research station in Osaka University. Then they feel that is more beneficial to the company, such as they can use they can access to the journal. In the company, they have to pay a lot of money to access the journal. But in the university, they don't have to pay because they have a laboratory inside the campus, so they can freely access to the journal, and they can freely use, for instance, radioactive research center. They can buy freely radioisotope from some organizations. They can freely research discussion with professors. So depending on their investment, so they believe if they feel to have a research station in Osaka University, they will build. But there are some problems. Company research speed is very quick. University research speed is very low. Very slow. Why? Because we have to grow students. They need very quick data. They cannot wait. That's why mostly 3 or 5 years, they will consider we should continue research collaborations with this professor or this research laboratory, and they will make a decision maybe in the first 2 or 3 years. But university, like a Professor Doni's laboratory, Professor Ilhan's laboratory, we cannot do that, right? Oh, this student is bad, so I don't like to work with him. We cannot do that. We cannot do that. We have to grow the students. So that is very different from the company. So mostly our research contract with the company maybe 2 or 3 years. 2 or 3 years, they will make a decisions. We should keep research collaboration with this research group in the university, or we should graduate research collaboration with this research group. Then we have to move to another, university or another topics. Then most interestingly, for instance, when we are students, genetic engineering technology developed. In those days, Japanese company we like to hire who know genetic engineering. Even he is good, he is bad, it doesn't matter as long as he knows genetic engineering. But once they get the technology from the students, they don't need the university anymore. They can do their own experiments by themselves. So now, maybe 5 years ago, maybe 10 years ago, IPS cells technology come up. And in those days, the pharmaceutical company will have to get the technology to cultivate or to prepare IPS cells. Maybe 2 or 3 years later, they don't need a university. They have already technology from the students, so they can do it by themselves. So that is the company idea in Japan. But if, for instance, Panasonic University likes you, they like to continue the collaboration with you. So most important point is the trust. If they like to work with you, they will work. But you just need the technology, maybe 2 or 3 years old. Yeah. It's okay.
Okay, in the Zoom, are there any questions?
Is that okay for me to address a several matter regarding this lecture? Can you hear my voice?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you so much, Professor Fujiyama Kazuhito. My name is Nanong. Actually, I'm the teaching staff at the Faculty of Animal Science, and apologize that I could not join directly on site with you in the Faculty of Agriculture. First of all, really appreciate for your very nice presentation. It's really opened our insight and knowing about the situation in one of the best, the most prestigious university in the world, Osaka University, and you not only in very detailed explanation about research you have conducted currently, but also overall the situation of the Osaka University. Actually, what I want to address is just asked by the Desi, and really important for us to know about how actually we can interact and we can get the good response from the company from what we have conducted in the university based on the research that we conduct. Especially the university, is that any kind of policy or kind of incentive, or how to encourage the professor of the university can apply and can interact and collaborate with the stakeholders from the from the industry. And the second one is actually regarding the municipal waste. Because now we are here in Yogyakarta really struggling with this matter because, well, like the facilitation to burn the waste, for example, is become one of the most struggling one. We know that in Japan there are some moirugomi. We can actually the waste with a good facilitation. But do you have any other insight how to use kind of microbes, for example, not possibly not from your side, but your friend or some other expertise in Osaka University who really dealing with this kind of research, using some microbes to degrade or to decompose any kind of municipal waste in very efficient and effective way based on the microbes application. I think that all. Then really appreciate for your kind explanation. Thank you so much.
So thank you very much for your questions. So first question is how sorry.
The university, for example, to promote collaboration between industry and university, policy of university like giving incentive or others.
Okay, so I'm sorry, I cannot answer to you properly because I am a researcher in the university. So sometimes I'm not happy with the policy of Osaka University. So this is just my personal idea or personal opinion. Okay, so what I can tell you is now all over the Japan, professor or researcher can apply patents. Then Osaka University or maybe each university supports patent application. Then maybe 1 year later, I don't know in the case of Indonesia, but in Japan 1 year later, all patent applications will be open. Then maybe around that time, our TLO, Technology License Office, I'm sorry, I don't know very well. This kind of license office starts the discussing with the company. So for instance, I have a very good strains and I applied the patents, and a year later, the TLO office start discussing with the company. And if the company is interested in our technology or our created products, then they like to try to use our innovations. But they have to pay. And for instance, they pay $100, then some amount of money comes to me. That is good. Yeah? But that is not so much. Mostly, university is owner of the patent. Yeah, that is okay. But profit is not so much. So some professors don't like to apply the patent. It is tedious. So they just make a presentation at the conference. Then we will lose the chance to earn the money. I don't know in the case of Indonesia. So what university should do is you should promote the technology developed by professors to the company more seriously and also more efficiently. Because the company don't like to pay. Even in Japan, still the company don't like to pay. In the United States, they have to pay. So that is very different system. So the university should work to get the good results for the university. So if you get a lot of money from the company, you can build the whole of Ilfan, the whole of Doni. But that is a US system. In Japan, we still get the small amount of money from the company. So maybe you should, again, if you can do it, the professor might be very happy. Then what is the second question?
Second question that we have now problem with the cabbage. So is there any suggestion? Might be not from your own experience, but from other cases, how to deal with the garbage that we our face in Jogja?
There are many garbages, right? Like for instance, the how to say, the feces,
Fishes, actually,
and not human,
animal actually,
feed stuff, like a pork, cow. So they can they started the cultivation or the anaerobic cultivation of those cabbage to get the biogas. Then one professor of the Osaka University developed very good catalyst. So they can make the methanol or formic acid from the biogas. Right? So they built the pilot facilities in Hokkaido area. But in future, maybe we should use on-site biogas stations using this technology. And this is just my dream. I don't know in Indonesia, but in Japan, every city has a burning facility for the garbage, which is released from each family, each house. Then they harvest, they collect all the garbage and brought liquid to the burning systems. They just burn. But this means we produce plenty of carbon dioxide, dioxin too. So in future, we should get the biogas from this one first, then the rest of the materials can be burned. Then that energy can convert to the I don't know in Indonesia, but we can use this energy to grow lettuce in a room. Maybe we can grow strawberry. We don't have to buy gasoline. Yeah. So all year round we can eat strawberry. But the farmer always use plenty of gasolines to maintain the temperature. But why don't you use this energy from the burning systems? Yeah. And solar panel energy is very efficient, but 10 years later, 20 years later, these panels should be thrown away. So we have to pay a lot of money, and we have to recycle this panel. So now we have to consider how we can recycle what we used. If not, we have a problem. So now, I don't know the case of the Indonesia or UGM. In Japan, many students don't like to use the glass test tubes. They like to use plastic test tubes. And once they use the plastic test tubes, they throw away. Yeah, I always tell the students, please consider recycle. So this is, sorry, I just want to tell my personal opinion, but recycling is very important in the future. Then one professor who likes to use the recycle plastics. So one professor worked together with the, do you know Saraya campus? Saraya company. Saraya is, they produce palm oil. Then they developed the corridor of the elephant in Borneo. This Japanese company developed the corridor of the elephant in Borneo Islands. But why they do this? Because they use plenty of palm oil. So this company is very much interested in how we can recycle the plastics. So maybe coming soon, we are going to have an Expo 2025 in Osaka. This campus built exhibition area for Blue Planet. They are concerned about the microplastic in our ocean and also in our body. So maybe we have to consider recycling system. So sorry.
Okay, thank you very much, Prof. Nanong, for that question. I would like to ask Professor Triwibowo if there is any question for today's guest lecturer session.
No, I don't have any question yet. Yeah. Sorry, I don't have any question yet.
Okay.
I have one question, Sensei. So how you can know what the industry needs? So you start, you will offer, the university will offer your special to the company. How in the beginning you decide what research you need to do? So it may be interested for the industry.
When I start the project, also important is your interest, right? Because we are university professor, then of course this technology should be useful for the society. But in the science, school of science, they don't care. They just do the study based on their interest. But maybe your side, agricultural department. So, like your king mentioned yesterday, to be useful to others is very important. So, we are from the School of Engineering. We have to develop the good technology, good products for the people. Then the company don't like to spend a lot of money, don't like to spend a lot of time to develop key technology, right? But sometimes, like Shimazu company, Mr. Tanaka gets the Nobel Prize based on his research on Marodi toughness. But mostly Nobel Prize goes to the basic research people, right? And of course, this kind of technology should based on your interest. But sometimes we have to consider how we should develop the new technology. Then the company comes to you. So you should consider new technology. Then the company comes to you.
Yeah, because in Indonesia, even old technology we still cannot have. Like DNA primer invented like in the 80s, but nobody to produce in Indonesia until last years we make our production. Yeah. Before we wait, we hope that somebody build such company and offer service in Indonesia so we can work the biotech research faster. Yeah, no need to wait. But long time we wait 10 years and nobody have initiation to establish such production system in Indonesia. So finally we decide okay, maybe we can do it by ourselves. Let's try to do this kind of production line. Let's get some funding. Then we build one. So yeah,
So that is a kind of niche, right? So your idea is very good. I also consider why don't you produce the primer by yourself? Why don't you produce the enzymes by yourself? So same things to Japan. So for instance, pharmaceutical products like IgG or interferons, we use the technology developed by the United States or Europe. So our government always tell us we should create our own technology. So that is one way. And as you mentioned, your primer synthesis is very important. Then you can facilitate your research for the Indonesian people or Indonesian university. That is very important. Yeah, I think your idea is good. So you should, how to say, distribute this kind of idea to others. But next, you have to consider a new technology. So maybe Bandung, IBD, we will start the same business. Then your business will become poor. Everybody can do that. But what is your next?
Yeah, so that's true. But mainly, I learned about how in the beginning after World War, Japan copy a lot of technology from the US, and then after that start developing their own technology. So Indonesia should follow a little bit similar path. Yeah. We not put a lot of energy to try to invent new things, yeah, but how to fulfill what we don't have yet, yeah, like some basic technology we don't have already in Indonesia, we need to establish. Yeah. We can copy a lot of things from Japan or from United States. There is a lot of enzyme that out of patent. Yeah, polymerase Saudi now mostly they out of patent, so we can produce by ourselves. We can have the plasmid and produce an impolite without license anymore for free. So now we are trying to do just that. We try to collect all of the enzyme that has been out of patent, and then we manufacture those enzymes.
So your next business is you should export your enzyme to Japan.
Yeah, we can.
Okay.
Hopefully, yes.
We really appreciate your progress.
Or at least Asian country, at least.
No. China can produce.
China can produce faster.
Cheaper.
Cheaper.
You can export your products to Japan.
Okay, maybe I would like to ask for the final time. Is there any other questions?
Okay, my name is Juliatmo. I appreciate for your insightful presentation about lipid by Rotoru, especially for the larger production using fat. And I have some questions. First one is how to separate from 5-liter fermenters from the lipids and separate from the media. Sorry. And the other and the second one is how many yield percentage from your production, and the last is how how to maximize or how to increase the production from your production? Thank you.
Thank you very much for your question. So I cannot catch your questions. So can you repeat?
Okay. The first one is how to separate lipid and the another substance such as media or bacteria in 5-liter fermenters.
Okay. At the moment, we just work on the lipid production in the lab. So we use the usual centrifugations to get the cells, and we extract the fatty acid from the cells. But in future, for instance, maybe 20 liter, 100 liters, we cannot use the usual centrifugations. So in that case, we may have to use sharpless cell separation system or something. But at the moment, we just try the labo scale experiment. So we extract the lipid from the cells. Then the case of the yield, we haven't done analysis LCA yet. But at the moment, as I mentioned in my presentation, honestly speaking, we use more electricity than oil produced our system. So in future, we have to consider which is cheaper. We have to use the electricity for the fermentations. So for instance, we have to control the temperature, we have to agitate the fermentations, we use a lot of energy. So we have to consider which is good. But at the moment, again, we just try the production in the labo scale. So your question is very important. So in future, we have to evaluate the production systems in terms of the economy. Is it okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much for all of the questions. But due to time constraint, we have to close the Q&A session. And I'm confident that all of us in this room and also in the Zoom meeting will have a valuable new insight thanks to Professor Fujiyama Kazuhito. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to take a moment to express our sincere gratitude to Professor Fujiyama for the insightful presentation. And it is my pleasure to invite Professor Doni Widianto to the stage to present a plaque of certificate or appreciation.
Professor Fujiyama, thank you. This is from and the other is our tea. This is tea that produced by a company owned by this university. Black tea, green tea, and this is Java tea. Yes, Java tea. Thank you. Thank you.
Foto bisa salaman sama Pak Presiden. Coba Pak Sandi. Foto bersama. Shake hand.
Shake hand again, because
Media.
media. Oh.
lihat kamera. Jadi kayak ke kamera. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, one more. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, thank you.
I would like to invite everyone in this room to come in front to have a documentation session. And for online participants, please turn on your camera.
Iya, kita ke belakang. Saya buat. Enggak Pak Manjiman, Kak Saiful, tadi depan. Jadi kan tak kalah Pak Kamrosi. Semua pejabat. Coba semua loh, kalah kan juga. Silakan teman-teman mohon maju ke depan, kita foto bersama ya untuk mengabadikan Bapak Ratu, Jamil Ratu. Moga-moga merapat. Mbak, kurang rapat betul. Yang bagian kiri. Bagian kiri masih kosong. Oh iya, kiri ini. Kiri itu ada yang sama. Okay. 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. UGM host. UGM host. Gadjah pada host. Oke. 1, 2, 3.
Oke, thank you.
Terima kasih. Thank you so
Well, that brings us to the end of today's lecture. A huge thank you to Prof. Fujiyama Kazuhito for sharing your time and expertise. And let's give one more time a round of applause. And I would also like to say thank you very much for everyone in this room for your attentive participation, and also everyone in the Zoom meeting. Have a wonderful rest of your day.
much.